Okay, guys, today I thought we would discuss something called tactile virtual reality. So, you would have heard the term virtual reality, I'm sure. Virtual means not real. So, the word means unreal reality, or in other words, something which is unreal but seems real. Okay, you would have seen virtual reality movies. You would have probably played virtual reality video games. Fine. But then what we are going to discuss is something which is extremely futuristic and at this point of time slightly unbelievable. This is called tactile virtual reality. See, the concept of virtual reality is actually interpreted as adding more dimensions. See, for example, the old movies are two-dimensional. Things move on the screen, crisscross, but nothing comes towards the audience. But then, recent times we are used to three-dimensional movies where objects move towards the audience. A scary experience for many. But then, this is the third dimension. Okay. So there are so many other dimensions. Actually, in science, there are only three dimensions. But then, in the world of virtual reality, there are so many other dimensions. Let's check out the screen, please. So you have the first and second dimension. That is simply the height and the width of the screen. And the third dimension, which is towards you, towards the audience. You may think these are the only dimensions, but please watch, there are so many other dimensions. See, you would have heard of surround sound, but now we are going to talk about surround virtual reality. See, in a virtual reality theater, objects would move towards you from the front, third dimension. Objects could drop at you from the back, or objects could come at you from the back, fourth dimension. Objects could drop on you from the top, another dimension. Objects could come from both sides, another two dimensions. And objects could even crop up from the floor, yet another dimension. So there are so many dimensions. So in this we have counted 8 dimensions. So to clarify once again, you have two dimensions, standard screen. Third dimension moves towards you from the front. The fourth dimension moves towards you from the back. The fifth dimension drops from the roof, objects moving from the roof. The sixth and seventh dimension from both sides, and the eighth dimension from the bottom. Imagine a situation where you are in a battle scene and bullets fly all around you, from the front, from the back, from the sides, even from the top and from the bottom. It would be an unbelievable scene. So that is your surround virtual reality. So generally, surround VR simply means objects coming at you from all four sides. A 3D surround virtual reality means objects come at you, not just from all four sides. Objects also come at you from the top and from the bottom, making it an absolutely scary experience. All this is fine. This is the world of virtual reality. Nothing big. You are used to it, or you may get used to it pretty soon. But now we are going to move on to something called tactile virtual reality. Just take a look at that picture and then I'll start explaining. This is just a picture. I think the guy is Tom Cruise, and this is from some movie where there is a visualization of tactile virtual reality. What that means, let me explain to you. Tactile means touch. So in virtual reality, You could move things all around. You could move images all around. You could even move images from the top, from the bottom, whatever. You can add an olfactory touch to virtual reality by introducing a fragrance into the environs or the air. See, for example, you can introduce the smell of jasmine in a scene of haunting. So now you have an olfactory virtual reality. No, that's all fine. But in tactile virtual reality is something amazing, out of the world, and so futuristic. The person experiencing this is in a thin suit, a thin body suit, something like what you see Superman and Batman wearing, a tight body suit made of silicon. And these silicon chips are activated by the virtual reality impulses. So what happens is, see, if you are, let's say, you are playing a video game in tactile virtual reality theater, and you are wearing this bodysuit made of silicon skin. Bullets are flying around, and if one hits you, you will exactly feel that sharp pinch of pain that you feel when a bullet shot hits you. Probably the intensity of the pain you can set depending on your tolerance level. What happens here is simple. When the image strikes the silicon chip on your silicon bodysuit, it sends a pain wave through the body, making you experience the bullet shot. This would be the ultimate virtual reality. Similarly, imagine a situation where you can give a hug to your child from halfway across the world. See, if you have a tactile virtual reality phone or any other instrument, you could transfer the feeling of touch and the hug through the bodysuit that the child is wearing. You can handshake with anyone halfway across the world. These tactile virtual reality equipments are also going to be used extensively as haptic equipments. Means people who are wearing prosthetic arms and legs and all that, means an amputee or someone who lost a leg or an arm may have substituted the same with an artificial leg. But then please note, this artificial leg feels like something extra, does not belong to the body. But when you integrate tactile with virtual reality onto the prosthetic leg, the man feels the leg exactly like his original leg, or in other words, but for the fact that the prosthetic leg does not have blood circulation and nerve connections, it feels exactly like the original leg. You can feel it. It's not as if you have attached a piece of metal or some other material onto your body. So for haptics, this is a tremendous input. So this is your tactile virtual reality, which is almost true at this point of time, and in the future it would advance further. Thank you very much.